our love has grown, 'cause it grows stronger.
A tall, timid girl walked onto the America's Got Talent stage in 2018. She mumbled nervously, avoided eye contact, and struggled to answer the judges' questions. The audience prepared for another forgettable performance. But what happened next, no one could have predicted. The moment the music hit, Courtney Hadwin transformed. Her body moved like a rock legend. Her voice exploded with raw, soulful power that echoed the spirit of Janis Joplin and James Brown. Gasps filled the room. Judges stood in disbelief. And Howie Mandel, visibly shaken, slammed the golden buzzer. In an instant, Courtney wasn't just a contestant. She became a cultural moment. Millions watched the clip on repeat. Social media lit up with praise. Headlines declared her the next big thing. But behind that one unforgettable performance was a teenager still trying to understand what had just happened. This was only the beginning. And as Courtney's fame skyrocketed, the pressure would soon follow. Long before the viral fame and flashing lights, Courtney Hadwin was just a quiet girl from Hartlepool, County Durham, a small coastal town in northeast England where dreams usually stayed local. Born on July 6, 2004, she grew up in a modest home surrounded by music. Her parents, Anne-Marie and Paul, weren't industry insiders, but they knew their daughter was different. The Hadwin household was always filled with melodies, whether it was Courtney's humming or the radio playing old soul records in the background. It wasn't just Courtney. Her siblings, Melissa and Paul, also showed musical talent. But it was Courtney who would sit alone for hours, listening, studying, singing, repeating, until she got every note right. By age 5, it was clear this wasn't a passing phase. Music wasn't just a hobby for her. It was a lifeline. And while most kids her age were still learning the alphabet, Courtney was already chasing something much bigger, something far beyond her quiet little town. But small towns don't always understand big dreams. And Courtney was about to find that out the hard way. Courtney Hadwin's rise didn't start with a golden buzzer. It started on cold sidewalks and tiny stages, with no cameras, no judges, just a girl, a mic, and a dream. To pay for her vocal lessons, Courtney often sang on the streets. Passers-by in local markets might not have realized they were listening to a future global sensation. But Courtney didn't care. Every note she sang was an investment in her future. She trained relentlessly. From Peanuts Masterclass to the Kate Sir School of Music, to working one-on-one with renowned coach Julie Miles, Courtney wasn't just talented. She was obsessed with getting better. Her first real break came in 2015 on the Teen Star stage in Newcastle. She didn't win, but her haunting performance of Bob Dylan's "Make You Feel My Love" made people stop and listen. It was raw, honest, unpolished, but unforgettable. In 2017, she entered The Voice Kids UK. This was her first taste of national attention. Her cover of Tina Turner's Nutbush City Limits got people talking. She moved on, delivering Dancing in the Street and I Got You, I Feel Good, with stunning energy. But not everyone embraced her intensity. Some critics said she was too much, too wild, too different. She was already being told to tone it down before the world ever knew her name. Most young UK performers dream of making it big on Britain's Got Talent. But Courtney Hadwin had other plans. After her stint on The Voice Kids UK, many expected her to follow the usual path, stay local, build a slow climb to fame. But instead, she set her sights across the Atlantic. She bypassed British stages entirely and aimed for the biggest spotlight in the world, America's Got Talent. It was a risky move. Why would a teenage girl from a quiet village gamble everything on a foreign stage? Her answer was simple and bold. "We went for America's Got Talent because it's the biggest platform in the world," Courtney explained. "It's where all my musical idols came from." She didn't want comfort. She wanted challenge. And she believed the American audience would understand her fire, her sound, and her soul in a way others hadn't. Her family backed her all the way. "We always thought she'd do great things in America," they said. "We knew they'd connect with her." It was a leap of faith, but it was also a declaration. Courtney wasn't here to blend in. She was here to break through, and America was ready. When Courtney Hadwin took the stage on America's Got Talent, she didn't just audition, she erupted. Her electrifying performance of Otis Redding's Hard to Handle lit up the room with a force no one expected. The crowd rose. Judges were stunned. And Howie Mandel, overwhelmed, slammed the golden buzzer, sending her straight to the live shows. But that was just the beginning. In the quarterfinals, she unleashed James Brown's Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, proving she wasn't a one-hit wonder. Her semifinal cover of Born to Be Wild was pure adrenaline. And for the finals, she raised the stakes again with River Deep Mountain High. Every round showed a new side of Courtney, each performance more uncontainable than the last. Her presence was magnetic, her voice a controlled storm of soul and fire. The judges couldn't look away. Simon Cowell called her a bundle of talent. Audiences around the world agreed. Betting sites had her as the favorite to win. And even though she didn't take home the trophy, her legacy was already sealed. Her AGT journey wasn't just a run through a competition. It was a full-blown transformation. A shy teen girl had become a rock and roll icon, live on primetime television. But the real story wasn't what happened on stage. It was what came next. While the world saw a fearless performer, backstage Courtney Hadwin was battling a very different reality. In a 2021 interview on Howie Mandel's podcast Howie Does Stuff, Courtney opened up about the crushing nerves that nearly stopped her from walking onto the AGT stage. She recalled moments of paralyzing anxiety where she could barely speak, let alone sing. The production crew, she said, witnessed the transformation firsthand, from trembling teenager to unstoppable force the second the music began. But the pressure didn't end with the stage lights. Fame came fast, and so did the backlash. Online, critics targeted everything from her style to her voice. Some said she was too wild, too strange, or simply too much. Behind screens, the bullying was relentless. At school, it got worse. Courtney faced classmates who mocked her success, hurled insults, and turned her dream into something she had to defend. The very people she once called friends became critics overnight. Her mother worried. Her father warned her about the cost of fame, reminding her that even icons like Ed Sheeran had to step back from social media to protect their peace. But Courtney didn't quit. She turned the hate into fuel, vowing to let her music speak louder than the noise. And while the world applauded her strength, few understood just how much it had cost her to stand tall. By the end of 2018, Courtney Hadwin had something millions only dream about, a record deal. She signed with Simon Cowell's Psycho Entertainment and Arista Records, marking her official entry into the professional music world. This wasn't just a trophy for making it far on AGT. It was the start of something bigger, a real career. In 2019, she released her first major project, The Cover Sessions. But this wasn't just a string of popular tracks, it was a statement. Each cover, from Harry Styles' Sign of the Times to Louis Capaldi's Someone You Loved, was transformed through Courtney's gritty, soulful lens. She didn't just perform them, she rebuilt them. Fans praised her maturity, her control, and her ability to inject raw emotion into even the most polished songs. Later that year, she released a surprise gift to her followers. Happy Christmas, War Is Over, a heartfelt holiday track that showed a softer, more reflective side. Courtney wasn't chasing charts. She was chasing something deeper, artistic freedom. And behind the scenes, she was working quietly, obsessively, on original material, the type of music that couldn't be rushed, that had to be felt. The world thought she had disappeared, but in reality, she was just getting ready for her return. In 2019, Courtney Hadwin stepped back onto the stage that changed her life. But this time, she wasn't a wide-eyed newcomer. She was a returning force. America's Got Talent. The champions brought together the most iconic acts from across the globe. For Courtney, it was more than just a second chance. It was a test. Could she still command the spotlight? Was the fire still there? Her answer came in the form of Pretty Little Thing, a fiery, gritty performance that shattered all doubts. Dressed in black and bursting with confidence, she roared through the track with the swagger of a seasoned star. She didn't win. She didn't need to. Because for Courtney, this wasn't about a trophy. It was about claiming her voice. It was about showing the world that she wasn't a one-time viral act. She was here for the long game. Her performance earned praise from the judges, new waves of fans, and global headlines once again. But more importantly, it solidified who she was becoming. Not just a contestant, not just a cover artist, but a storyteller, a performer, and finally, an artist in her own right. For all her stage power, Courtney Hadwin is still, at heart, a deeply introspective young woman. On How He Does Stuff, she peeled back the curtain, and what she revealed was miles from the rock star persona the world had come to know. She spoke candidly about her struggles with anxiety, the pressure of performing, and the surreal experience of going viral almost overnight. But behind that vulnerability lies something else: vision. Courtney isn't chasing instant fame. She's chasing depth. She spoke about her admiration for Amy Winehouse, not just for her voice, but for her fearless artistry. Courtney wants to craft songs that matter, that echo with meaning. She described it as painting with sound, using bold brushstrokes to tell stories only she can tell. She doesn't want to be the next anyone. She wants to be the first Courtney Hadwin. Her creative goals are clear: to build a legacy not just through viral moments, but through music that resonates, raw, unfiltered, and unmistakably hers. And if you thought her silence meant she was fading, think again. She's building something, and when it drops, it might just change everything. For someone who once captivated millions in under 2 minutes, Courtney Hadwin's recent silence has felt almost deafening. Fans have waited, rumors have swirled. Speculation about her record label, whispers of new music, and subtle online hints have only fueled the fire. But nothing official, yet. Some say she's walked away from Simon Cowell's label. Others believe she's working independently, crafting her debut album in complete secrecy. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is clear: Courtney hasn't vanished. She's evolving. Her journey isn't over. It's entering a new chapter, one with no judges, no buzzers, and no limits. She's no longer the shy teenager nervously standing on stage. She's an artist in control, rewriting the narrative on her own terms. So where is Courtney Hadwin now? She's exactly where she needs to be, quietly preparing for a return that won't just shake up the music world, but redefine it. Because legends don't burn out. They wait for the perfect moment to set the world on fire again.